Today we are delving into chaos. Today we are going to surround ourselves with skulls and blood and fire and monsters and shit, because that's what this is all about. We're going to take a look at a supplement for a role-playing game that I am very interested in, but not have yet had the chance to play, as I'm sure you are all, as fans of role-playing games, very familiar with. This, like, man, I've read every page of this. I have made characters. It's a super cool game. I'm really excited about it. I have not yet gotten a chance to play it, but there's a supplement now. For Zweihander, which is the grimdark tabletop RPG, fantasy RPG, from Grim and Perilous, which we took a look at nigh unto many months ago. I can't actually remember the date, but we went way back and we made a character, and we looked at the rules, and we took a good long look at Zweihander, and I've been excited about this Main Gauche. Now let's talk about this. So it's a supplement. Main Gauche is a supplement for Zweihander, but you can't wield both at the same time. You can't, by definition. Wait, do you have a third arm? I guess that's where the Daemonic Gifts come in. So we're going to talk about Main Gauche, which is a supplement for this game, for Zweihander. If you don't know anything about Zweihander yet, you'll pick up the general kind of tone and you'll get the shtick pretty fast. But if you're interested in learning more about it, obviously check it out yourself, or you can watch my video about it, which will be on my YouTube channel, which you can find yourself. So during this, if you're watching live, if you want to take a look at the game, you want to pick up a copy of it, please use my affiliate link. I have a Drive-Thru-RPG affiliate link. You can either click down below and search for it yourself, or any other PDF on Drive-Thru-RPG, or you can use the ! Main Gauche command, or this little link over here, which I will have available. So you know what? We're gonna get Main Gauche to put its money where its mouth is. I am going to see what the author says that this supplement is about. All right, we're going to take a look. I'm going to go right to that drive-through page, and we're going to find out what the developer has to say. So this is the marketing text straight from Drive-Thru-RPG. So Main Gauche, it's $10 PDF, marked down from $24.99, which is like pretty significant markdown. And it is a supplement for Zweihander, a gritty, dark fantasy tabletop role-playing game. So in this book, you will add 68 all-new professions to your Grim and Perilous game. You'll build fantastic machines like the Arkwright Cauldron and the Rumblebutler. You will integrate cinematic vehicle-based combat. You will use alchemy and Wytch-science. Man, I love that phrase, Wytch-science. I guess we'll find out which science when we get there. Devote yourself as an occultist to elder demons, learn damning Covenant Magick and wield their horrific manifestations, make soul-altering pacts for demonic gifts of unfettering power, and build your own unique creatures and NPCs on the fly. Well, I feel like this is the book that Blackleaf wished that we had. I feel like this is the book that was going to teach us the true magic. This is the kind of book that if you find it in your parents find it in your basement, they might become concerned about your attraction to the dark powers. Now, writing a supplement is hard, right? Like, it's like making an album. You have your whole life to write your first role-playing game. Your whole life to write that first role-playing game. But then you only have a limited amount of time, in theory, to follow up on it if you want that role-playing game to continue being relevant, right? Like, if you wait 20 years to make a supplement for a game, it's probable that game development and the world of game design have moved on. So what we often see in a first supplement is something that is not necessarily revolutionary, but contains material that while you were developing the game, you thought, you know, we could include this. But there's not quite enough page count. The book is already quite large. It's not core to the material of the game. Things like fantastic machines or vehicle combat. Or you often see a first supplement covering like mass combat, higher levels. It'll either expand up right, to give you more once you've explored the entirety of the main game, or it will expand out. Now, I prefer expansions that expand out from the bottom, not up from the top, because if a game goes from the top of its existing material and expands beyond that, it means that I have to play the entire game. And as I said before, as someone who both has a ton of time to play games, but not a ton of time to play brand new games, I like seeing stuff that expands on the base, which is why for me, and this might just be like because I'm basic, I really like the addition of well thought out, well designed classes and races in like a D&D style game, or in this game, professions. So the first thing, and this is great that it's the first bullet point, the first thing I'm most excited about is looking at these new professions. Like, what more stuff can we roll on our random tables? So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna do what we did before with the other book. We're gonna flip through it kind of page by page, section by section, and that's gonna be the majority of this stuff. But if we have time, closer to the end, we might make a new character, because there's 68 all new professions. So we might go through the character creation process again. We'll see how we do. But yeah, it's expanding out. So that means that there are 186 total professions in the game now, which is pretty damn cool. Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't have added one more profession? You just had to stop at 68? You didn't have one more in your pocket? Son, I am disappointed. All right. Well, let's take a quick look. Let's jump in, and we'll begin our examination of this supplement of Zweihander. So here we go. So this is the cover of Main Gauche. It is a Grim and Perilous supplement. There appears to be some kind of horrific battle scene on the cover. I see a jester, a sun priestess. This is very, very reminiscent for me of the kind of early Warhammer art. This like kind of watercolor, the color palette. It's very, very reminiscent for me, and I like that. I think that it speaks to me of the what are those books like? They were halfway in character kind of lore stuff, and then halfway just kind of like tables about chaos. Realms of Chaos, that's the one. Yeah, Krangar, thank you. So yeah, Realm of Chaos. It's a great cover. I like the limited palette. I like the diverse color character set right up front. Right, these characters are quite different, as most adventurers tend to be. Yeah, and it's cool. It's interesting, and you'll notice over here, powered by Zweihander, D100 game engine. Now that's relevant because Zweihander is not the only game that is going to be using this engine. Now, I don't know if you follow Zweihander on Twitter, but there have been some announcements over the last little while that there's going to be 2 more games based on the Zweihander engine that are based on this grimdark situation. We're going to get Tetsubo, which I am super excited about, and we'll definitely do one of these videos for. So Tetsubo is going to be a feudal Japan, like a grimdark shogun assassin, samurai, ninja. Oh, I'm so excited. I've wanted a game like this forever. So there's Tetsubo. And then there's the colonial horror. I don't know if that's the title or if it doesn't. I don't know if it has a title yet, but the like early America, right? The kind of like the colonies of America. And and so there's sort of like that situation. I think that's going to be quite cool. Yeah, there's the Dark Astral, Colonial Gothic. Yeah, there is this. There's the Dark Astral, which is a sort of zine supplement, but it's not a full game. So anyway, that's relevant because now on the cover there's this powered by Zweihander D100 game engine thing. So yeah, Grim and Perilous Samurai coming. A game you could probably do like the Wytch, or like. We talked a little bit about how it would be a cool campaign setting to do like Ben Franklin as a sorcerer. So yeah, pretty cool. So it issues kind of a change. We're going to get more stuff that's going to be using the same engine. So if medieval Warhammer style fantasy is not your jam, there may be a version of it that appeals to you. So in this book, you're going to get a lot of very like the art in these books I have found, and I imagine this will be the case too, very consistent. Right? I believe that they use the same artist throughout for all of the interior art. There's going to be lots of art, which is why I think the page count of these books tends to be quite high. And then we're going to get some cool portraits and probably some gritty stuff as well. Keep an eye out for if this book follows the style of Zweihander. Keep an eye out for like tongue-in-cheek references to stuff, because there's a tendency within these to do that, which I like. I really like. I think it's pretty good. I mean, even the title is sort of a cheeky, like, it's the offhand, like, yeah. So we'll keep an eye out for that stuff. And if I miss anything, please let me know, because I have a pretty good cultural literacy in the kinds of stuff I think they're going to refer to. But if I miss anything, please, yeah, let me know, because I like knowing the jokes. So yeah, so Main Gauche, written by Daniel Fox. The managing art director, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name correctly. I think it's Dejan Mandic, but if I get it wrong, I'm sorry, Dejan. But yeah, great art direction in this series so far. Nothing too unusual up front. Now this is our first piece of referential art. This is, oh yeah, if you check it out, look at me. I got a credit. Special thanks to me. You're welcome. So this is our first piece of referential art. I don't know if you recognize where this is from. It's a send up on the D&D cartoon. There's the dungeon master, there's the barbarian and his dumb little goat. It's the characters from the D&D cartoon, but rendered as yeah. So that's cute. That's a nice little. So this is what I'm saying. Like, look at the dungeon master. This is what clued me in. I was, wait a second, I know this little nerd. Yeah. So standard stuff. The first section is the Book of Mortals. This is our Liber Mortalium with all the professions in it. You'll notice too that the style of the book has changed from Zweihander Core when we first looked at it. It's a lot easier to read now. There is some shift in like color separating the titles. So we get our professions. We get a book with new weapons, armor, and shields. Another easy place to expand on your game. We get the Book of Vehicles as promised. So vehicle combat and positioning. Not what I would have necessarily expected, but I guess if you're doing a kind of more Warhammer-inspired campaign, you want to do like orc wagons and what have you. But if you're feeling your Ben-Hur, I guess this would be the place to go. The Book of Alchemy, the Book of Demons, the Book of Shadows, the Book of Evil. So I guess this is the NPC and monster creator tool. The Book of Mysteries, which is running a conspiracy. I'm interested in that. And then an adventure, which I think is an adventure that continues off of the previous adventure from the main book. This adventure is called There's Something About Marie. So that's good. And then, of course, you get the Taints of Chaos and some expansions on the existing game. Stay away from the Taint of Chaos. Stay away from it. It's the worst part of chaos. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. So we're going to start with an introduction to the book. I'm not going to read it word for word. This is the same as how Zweihander started. There is an introduction by way of Danziger Eckhart, who is the kind of like stand-in guy. He's our introductory NPC. I am so of a mixed mind about this as a vessel for role-playing games. I think if it's used gently, having the NPC who's like here to explain shit to you can be good. But if there's like 6 of them, this was the problem that I had with the Witcher RPG. When I was reading the Witcher RPG, there are 4 different, it's written by 2 different people, and there are like 4 different characters explaining things to you. And sometimes it's the author explaining something, and other times it's the character. And it's hard to tell which is which. And I just like having fiction in the game is fine. Having comics or whatever, that's just a form of art. But like when you start to mix descriptions like that, I'm like, I don't need to know what the character thinks of a longsword. I need to know the rules for a longsword and a description of what a longsword is. And I think for the most part, this game does a pretty good job of that. I don't remember seeing a lot of egregious like Danziger's opinion on broadswords. But I bet you can think of a game or two that kind of overdoes it. And honestly, it's the thing that turned me off completely of the I can't even remember the name of the game. There's a it's based on a fairly famous urban fantasy like detective novel series. A lot of people really like it. The role-playing game is just like covered in like sticky notes, Dresden Files. The Dresden Files RPG, I could not read it because of that. So it's a dangerous gamble because I know some people really love that stuff, and it can be used really well. But I think in this case, for the most part, Danziger's story is to introduce us to the themes of this book, which is to say, people getting their hands stabbed, dudes getting thrown into a pit, Danziger having a bad time, tentacles. I'm pretty sure this is a scene from Akira. And then Danziger fleeing from the darkness of the pit. So cool. Daniel tells us a little bit about what's in the game, right? Again, and I gotta say, like, it's a lot. Wow. Okay, that's a good update. Daniel has undergone some chaos mutations since last we saw him. I think it's interesting to include these kinds of notes, and I gotta say I love that they used the same artist, and I love the idea of pairing a design with an artist and sticking with it. Like if you've got an artist who can just stick through lots and lots of different games and who can pump out material as fast, it seems, as this one can do it, right? Because it creates a design cohesion. And then so this is a self-portrait, an author self-portrait, just like we got in the first one. And Daniel, honey, get help. Get help. You've become enthralled by the chaos gods. So again, this is the at least the part of the party from the cover. We've got our badass warrior lady with her machete. We have some kind of moon jester, a superhero. This is the scary lady. Stay away from me, this one. And then the moon from Zelda. I love the art in this. Very evocative. And it definitely makes me want to like learn more about what's in the game. So nothing new about the way that the professions are handled, right? This just gives us a review of what makes up a profession. It gives us new archetypes, right? So I have to assume that this is the new table to roll off of. Yeah, you determine your archetype in Zweihander, and then you use this table because this table has everything from both sides. Yeah, okay, from both books. And then it highlights the ones that are new. Okay, cool. Good. So let's see what our new professions are. So now adding to the table, we can become apostles. So an apostle is a priest, a novitiate priest with no magic, I think. Yeah, pre-priests. Their ability is called by hook or by crook. So when they deal damage to someone, they can also inflict mental peril to any humanoid or mutant. Awesome. Okay, so their weapons deal physical damage, but also mental damage. Good. Okay, and then they have a vow of non-violence. So this is the sort of joke on the cleric in D&D, how the cleric is only allowed to use crushing weapons because they can't spill blood, right? You have to mitigate bloodshed, so they can only use brawling or crushing weapons. Otherwise, they're not allowed to use any of their traits or talents. So that's cool, like a little mini cleric. This is like a Moldvay D&D cleric. I like that he's got a handful of sacred wafers here too. That's nice. So if you like Blood Bowl, and you read Zweihander and you're like, why can't I play a Blood Bowl player? Blitzballer. Life is full of pain, misery, and death, but it doesn't mean there isn't a little time for recreation. I like also that it's called Blitzball, like in Final Fantasy X, but this is definitely Blood Bowl. I mean, look at those guys. So this immediately, and this is a great way to include stuff in the universe, right? This is implied setting. So when you create a character who's a blitzballer, that means blitzball is in your universe. So if you, this is great. The best blitzballers have even gained a little fame, like Herr Jervis Janssen of the team Spielewerkstatt. Or is that notoriety? So I like it. It includes this new thing in the game. And if you play a former blitzballer, you get line of scrimmage. which means you get to pick being a blitzer, a blocker, a catcher, a lineman, a runner, or a thrower. Oh, that's so cool. So it's not just you play it's not just you play as a character. You have a whole bunch of different you have a whole bunch of different skills. And also, yeah, people who speak German, Spielewerkstatt is Games Workshop. So that's kind of cute. It's a nice reference. So depending on what kind of blitzballer you are, you get a different skill. And then your drawback is for the glory. You must always leave one hand free. Right? Of course. You have to you have to be able to have a hand to hold the ball. Wow. That's pretty cute. You can never use a two-handed weapon or a weapon and a shield because you got to have your like catching and running hand free. That's pretty good. I like that. Gotta be ready. Exactly. Cool. Okay. You could be this handsome devil. You could be a cadet. So the military equivalent of an acolyte. So you could be a cadet, sort of an inexperienced character from the military. They get seize the opportunity. So when an enemy attacks you and they miss, you get a free shot on them if you spend an AP, as long as you have a melee weapon in hand. Okay, so you can snap attack if somebody misses you. And it looks like these guys don't have a drawback. Probably the drawback for this character comes from like slightly less useful advances, something like that. So here's our boy, Glenn Danzig again, who is a convict, right? Lesson 1, you can't earn anything in this world. This is our signature character. And he gets Jailhouse Rock, who has a style of fighting that is dirty and chaotic. Whenever you parry. Oh, okay, interesting. So this is kind of the same as Seize the Opportunity. Seize the Opportunity is if they miss you, you can make a shot on them. Jailhouse Rock is when you parry, you can make an attack. So if they block, and then as long as you're wielding a brawling weapon. Okay, cool. So you could have been a convict. You could be a fence, right? So you know your way around. Selling stolen goods. Which means anything that you fence is treated and appraised at full value, and you can flip the test to results on a selling and identifying stolen goods roll. So that's cool. And then your drawback is whenever you try to buy, trade, or sell stolen goods, you can't use fortune points. Right? Yeah, because you have this like paranoia that you're being watched. Okay, cool. All right. So your offense, you can be a forger. That's another one of the skills. So, or one of the professions. Forger gets second oldest profession. So anything you counterfeit is treated as appraised as its full value. But whenever attempting to buy, sell, or trade forged materials, you can't use fortune points. Okay, so the forger and the fence are pretty similar in terms of abilities. I think they have slightly different advances. Let's see, bargain, guile, counterfeit, education, folklore, rumor, bargain, coordination, counterfeit, education, folklore, rumor. Okay, they're pretty similar in terms of what you get for the two. Yeah, a couple of flip side classes, hey. Yeah, because we have like the convict and the cadet that are kind of similar. Fence and the forger are similar. You can be a henchman. You can be a henchman. Yeah. These are rolled. There's a table early on. You roll them randomly. So you roll to create your character. You roll your archetype first. So you're either an academic, a commoner, a knave, a ranger, a socialite, or a warrior. And then you roll your profession within those underneath. Yeah. So it is all rolled random. Okay. So you can be a henchman. And aw, I love these helmets. Look at this guy with his carrying somebody else's stuff, almost certainly. So love it or hate it, you're a professional hireling. You get 3 additional encumbrance. Yep. In addition, you add your fellowship bonus in the type of coin you'll be paid in. Okay. And then your drawback is treat a result of 1% as a critical failure, no matter whether you would have succeeded or critically succeeded at the skill test. You go unrecognized for your sacrifices and rarely win accolades. Right. Yeah. The baggage carrier. That's pretty good. Okay, cool. You can be a messenger. A messenger. You work for Amazon. I guess you work for an Amazon. And you get lickety split. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You increase your movement by 3, and reduce all movement actions by 1 AP. That could be useful, right? And remember too, like your profession in this game is what you were before you became an adventurer. So you learned all of these things, and then you moved on to become an adventurer. You're probably not still messaging, but it's something that you know how to do. You could have been a nomad. Oh, that's cool. It's like one of those Mongolian, like the eagle archers. Yeah, that's sick. That's good art. I like that. So they are weather worn. You choose a region. If you're a northerner, you get to resist physical peril and can't get frostbite. Midlander, you can't get starved. And southerner, you can't suffer heat stroke. That's cool. But you have wanderlust. So if you're in an urban environment, you can never be restored to unhindered on the peril condition track. Oh, right. So you don't like being in the city. So you're just like, I can't rest here. I'm going to go set up a tent outside the walls. Cool. I like that. It's like fun character stuff too. You could be a pamphleteer. So this is a character that, again, introduces something into the setting, right? Because the pamphleteer talks specifically about movable type and the printing press. So this is a character who lives off of that being part of the game. It's a new technology, printing simple things like leaflets, religious tracts, and written notices. Though some pamphleteers print erotic poems. So these are people that go out and spread ideas, basically. There's a thin line between being an upright journalist and a rabble-rousing, perfidious, game-playing pundit. And some pamphleteers are not afraid to cross it to achieve notoriety. Very clever. So they get the ability extra when they fail a folklore or rumor test to generate. They can generate a better result. So yeah, they're like rumor mongers and folklorists. Neat. Okay, cool. What else we got? Pioneer. So pioneer is like an explorer, kind of a pre-ranger. And they get Trailblazer. So whether across rock, snow, or ice, you mean unreturn. Oh, okay. So they're good at athletics tests for exploring, climbing, pushing through, wearing foxes around their necks. And when they succeed at athletics tests, it's always considered a crit. Well, that's cool. You make a lot of athletics checks in games like this, I find, at least. So that's pretty cool. In addition, when using the movement subtype of climb, you don't add the additional AP cost. Nice. Okay, cool. You could be a quacksalver. So you can be a quacksalver. A quacksalver is that guy who sells snake oil, right? It's that dude who he's a huckster, a false alchemist. Though it is interesting that this class gets put into the same book as the alchemy rules. So we'll see if there's an interaction between the two. They get snake oil, so they treat alchemy as a common skill and may substitute snake venom in place of any needed reagent. Yeah, okay, here we go. So they have that Liber Alchemia thing. And then their drawback is quackery. The effect of your remedies is questionable at best. When someone imbibes your alchemical concoctions and goes to sleep, roll a d6. On the result of 1 to 5, nothing happens. On a 6, they suffer 2d10 plus 2 physical peril. Wow. So there's a 1 in 6 chance that you take 2d10 plus 2 peril if you drink the quack's potion. Good. Dangerous business. You can be a quartermaster. So the quartermasters are the dude that keep track of food and supplies for an army. They are very important. And they can re-roll navigation warfare tests. It's pretty cool. All right, quartermaster. I like this dude. I wouldn't argue with him. I'd go wherever he's pointing. Whoa. Okay, good. Ripper, Terror, Slasher, Gouger. They are the teeth in the darkness and the talons in the night. So this is a berserker style character. Now I think that we saw Reavers in, or not exactly Reavers, but there's another berserker type character in another yeah, there's some Beowulf going on here for sure. But in the original, there's another kind of, there was the guy biting his shield, right? So this is another form of like, kind of, if you want to play you know, a berserker or a barbarian type character, this is certainly an option. Yeah, I think it was berserker in that one. They have the ability Vikinger. Born on foot or by horse, you quickly leap out of the way from danger, provided you can see it coming. Oh, it's like danger sense, right? When you or your steed are struck by a ranged weapon, roll a chaos die. If it's on a 6, you ignore it, as you automatically dodge it for 0 AP. Whoa. That's really cool. So you have a 1 in 6 chance of just dodging any ranged weapon attack. So you'd want to move around a lot as a Reaver, right? You want to hit somebody and then like move on, or like ride your horse around chopping people down, because you have that 1 in 6 like free armor save basically. However, whenever you cross a body of salt water out of sight of land, you are made victim to fear. This is totally what are those dudes from Game of Thrones? Yeah, it's like Beowulf, but by way of the Dothraki, right? Yeah, totally. Yeah. Cool. I'm a rustler, baby. Oh my god, their ability is rawhide. Don't try to understand them. Just rope, throw, and brand them. Soon we'll be living high and wide. Yeah, Canyon Arrow. Yeah. Horse flesh and livestock remain an important industry no matter how far technology progresses. Fantastic. All right. So the Rustler can influence any number of creatures classified as animals who can see and hear you with a fellowship-based skill test. In addition, whenever you attempt to rustle and coerce animals and beasts, you may flip the results and succeed at handle animal tests. When you succeed, it's always a critical success. Nice. So we're like, you know, the milieu of this game does like lean a little bit. Like this is very much, I imagine, this is very much what people would think of as like an American archetype, right? This character is a cattle thief. Now, obviously, it's not like America or the Wild West invented stealing cattle or stealing horses, but this to me feels like it pushes a little bit into that space. But this character can certainly you can get guns in this game, so that's cool. Yeah, you're a medieval hotwirer, exactly. You could be a skald. Yes. Oh, she looks cool. Upon the battlefield, the screams of terror and the sound of hewn flesh can nearly drive a person to rout and flee their comrades in arms. The soldiers need something to distract them, keep them focused on battle. Musician, drummer, or speaker, whose job it is to inspire the troops. So their ability is the Bard's Tale. So I guess they have the ability to turn in one of 4 directions and then move forward 1 step at a time and then get killed by 17 rats in a basement somewhere. Whenever you succeeded in using inspiring words, allies increase their damage and peril thresholds by 1 and add +3 to their initiative. Not bad. I like it. Cool. So it's like an actual battle bard, not just like, I play music and I sometimes get in fights. This is I play music during fights. That's why she got that axe. A stevedore. Oh, look at this guy. Get away from me, Steve. A stevedore. Let's get the big hook. So a stevedore, they're really good at being lazy and like hanging around, getting paid for stuff, lifting barrels. So stevedores are people that take, I think so. So they take the cargo off a ship and they put it on the dock. I think that's their job. I think they do one, and then they lift, and then that's their. Okay, I think that's how a stevedore works. While there's much to do as a stevedore, the routine of work, drink, work, week over week can grow monotonous and degrading. Right, so they might strike out to become adventurers. So they get Wharf Rat. They flip the results to succeed at toughness tests. When you succeed, it's always considered a crit. Furthermore, you never reduce your movement due to overage. Awesome. Okay. So you can carry a ton of stuff, but it'll never slow you down. You lift an ox, carry it around with you. So they're good at resilience, getting beat on. A huge bonus when lifting crates. With the Undertaker, who's really, really, really good at pile drivers, and also charisma rolls. So the Undertaker has Dusk Till Dawn as their ability, charged with filling your days with funerary needs. They're good at resolve tests, and when they succeed, it's considered a crit. In addition, they only need 3 hours of sleep to recover their peril condition track. Yeah, I got that Saltspire hat. Yeah, so dig hole, bury corpse. Yeah, I like it. Get a +5 to choke slams. Okay, so those are the base professions that are added to the game. These are ones you can get at first level, quote unquote. The rest are advanced, so you have to earn your way into them by being an adventurer first and taking the right skills. Like, for example, an abbot. You want to carry a skull around? You want one of these cool pointy backpacks? You got to work for it. So you have to get 2 ranks in education and 2 ranks in heal before you can become an abbot or an abbess, an ordained religious leader who has not been touched by the divine spark. I kind of like that. Like, I like that it's like the game doesn't just give you professions where if you're a priest, you have divine magic. This is like, hey, you can go from like acolyte and abbot are obviously paired up, right? So you're an acolyte and you learn and you're religious, but you never get the blessing. So you become an educator and a healer, and then you become an abbot, but you still don't have any magic. You're not like a spellcaster. I think that's cool. So abbots can absolve sin. They can spend a fortune point to remove a curse or dispel harmful magical effects, or reduce another's chaos ranks. So they're kind of like a healer in that way. And then they're cool. Feeble-mindedness. Whenever you would gain 10 chaos ranks, you do not gain a disorder. Instead, reduce your willpower by 9%. Wow. Okay, so the abbot, instead of becoming, they don't become chaos mutants. They just slowly become frailer and frailer, and like their mind comes apart. It's kind of cool. That's a cool way to do it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they just slowly go mad. Well, they don't go mad though. Their mind becomes clouded. Yeah, they become easier and easier to manipulate and become like, yeah, interesting. I like that. Okay. If you have a rank in heal, you can become an alienist, who I believe is like a proto-psychiatrist. They have like hypnosis powers and they do like mesmerism. Yeah, Farsar, that's a great point. The abbot is the well-meaning guy in the village that has gone to shit and he can't tell that things are going wrong. Yeah. The priest who's just like, I tend to my flock. And the flock is all just like, we're a bunch of chaos wizards. And he's like, everything's going to be fine. So Mentok over here, what abilities does the alienist get? They get Dr. Mindbender. Whenever you perform hypnosis, the patient is also entranced. While entranced, they can be commanded to take any single action over the next week. Quack like a duck, steal a carriage, poison your lord. Oh, so you can make Manchurian candidate type characters, right? So you can just be like, you will go home and you will kill the priest. Good. And then, unfortunately, your words fall on deaf ears. Whenever you fail to perform hypnosis, both you and the patient suffer from stress. Awesome. Yeah, you don't replace those drawbacks. Those are part of the game forever. Yeah, as long as you have that career. Yeah. All right. If you have a rank in martial melee and warfare, say for example from being a quartermaster, you can become an armiger. An armiger, I think they use like explosives and siege weapons and stuff. Wow. Okay. Good. Yes. Good. Sure. Let's be this guy. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. You're literally a living bulwark of defense, growing more and more implacable with every strike. Every time you take melee damage, increase your damage threshold by +1, lasting until you are slain or combat ends. You must be wearing armor with the heavy quality to get this advantage. Ironclad as you are, you refuse to fight with the visor of your helmet up. While wearing armor with the heavy quality, you must flip the results to fail all perception-based skill tests that rely on vision. Perfect. Good. Yeah. So you just walk around and just fire cannons at people and stuff. Now, if you want to fire cannons from a distance, you don't want to be wading in like Iron Man here. You could, if you have a rank in warfare, you could become an artillerist. So the artillerist was the person I was thinking about who does the like indirect fire and operates the machinery of battle. So like she's got her little like ranging map and her telescope here. She has bombs away, so you can flip the results to succeed at warfare tests. I do love that that the artillerist is in the same book as the vehicle rules, and having all of that support. Like I wasn't thinking when I first started flipping through this, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I could start a campaign with like vehicles, but I like that if somebody chose to pick this, we could make that part of the campaign. Like it supports itself throughout that stuff, which makes me wonder if there aren't either in development or kind of half finished some rules for like proper mass combat floating around at the Grim and Perilous offices. Because I think that's something that, you know, if you play a character that can fire cannons or that can command troops, you wanna have rules for managing those troops in conflict, right? Yeah. So bombs away, you can flip your warfare tests whenever using burst, cone, and explosion templates with a war machine. You can spend a fortune point to not harm your allies. Oh, that's cool. However, you're hard of hearing because bombastic explosions of gunpowder have made you partially deaf, or maybe you're just dense and care little to listen to others as the power of God rests in your very hands. Okay, I like that. So you can't add skill ranks to tests that rely on hearing because you can't hear very well. Yeah, too many Iron Maiden concerts. You could be a barnstormer. Okay, all right. Clever philosopher naturalists and daring natural philosophers have developed vehicle technology far ahead of others. Rotor-driven velocipedes, horseless carriages, and floating gondolas borne in the air by a balloon. This guy better have a pilot's cap on. Ah, there he is. Barnstormers are a rarity, if only for the scarcity of their vehicles, though useful for piloting newfangled gyrocopters to drop bombs on enemy soldiers. That's right, goggles on top of your head, right where it belongs. Yeah, he's got his little pistol, and he's got a bag of bombs, and his abilities are, of course, Red Baron, the ace of aces, able to keep even the most ramshackle carriage or airborne from turning into a heaping, flaming wreck of wood and iron. So substitute pilot in place of any skill required to drive a vehicle, use a boat, or ride a creature. Whenever your vehicle is wrecked, you don't crash. It coasts a distance of 6 yards and stops, collapsing to pieces. You're a stuntman. You can't use fortune points to change the results of any skill test, except for agility-based ones. Interesting. Okay. Good. Yeah. Great. Totally takes the game in an interesting direction. If you have somebody who's like, I want to be this dude, then in the game you have to include that stuff. Does he wear a belt outside his scarf? No, it's not a belt, it's his other gun. He's got a gun going this way, and he's got a gun that way, and then this is the scarf goes under. I know, yeah, it's small, so it's hard to see. And then next is the Blade Dancer. War is not a means to an end, but an art form. Ah, oh, shit, yeah, look at that fucking big-ass sword she's got. Oh, her hair is so long. So she's got, like, yeah, that's cool. This is a really, like, dynamic piece of art. Like, her hair flips this way, and then she's got her, like, dress that way. And she does look like she's dancing with this giant-ass sword. Good. She's got Leaf on the Wind, which gives her... you take aim with 2 AP with a melee weapon and successfully strike. Now... Here's the thing. So I don't know if any of you, I was gonna say we're alive, but I don't know if any of you were playing RPGs during the era of 3.5, Pathfinder, Star Wars Saga Edition, and D20 Modern. I don't know how many of you were around playing games during that period, but reading games like D20 Modern and Star Wars Saga Edition, you could kind of see what they were experimenting with for other games. So I wonder sometimes, and that period of time in role-playing games has really encouraged me to look at when a game comes out, especially a supplement, I wonder, like, what stuff in this is a test for future games. Now, the reason I brought this up is, let me read the description, and remember what I was saying about some of these future games that are coming out using this system. With inward focus, you attune yourself to the world as a combative technique. Taking in all the subtle noises, the rhythm of your opponent's breathing and movement, you swiftly draw your sword, exhaling ki to strike true. A little bit of samurai flavor in there. So whenever you take aim for 2 AP with a melee weapon, you roll 2 fury dice and you pick the better of the 2. In addition, you can take aim as a reaction before parrying. You must attack with a bladed weapon to utilize this trait, and it must be sheathed before striking. We're going to see this rule again. Definitely. So your drawback is that you immediately change your order alignment to enlightenment and your chaos alignment to detachment. You have to be a detached enlightenment seeker. Yeah, totally. Cool. All right. If you have a rank in incantation and either the special trait of arcane or divine magic, you can become a butcher priest. Whoa, boy. Oh dear. Grog, guts, and glory. To satisfy the endless gullet's hunger by savoring every last drop of booze, blood, and befouled water. Whenever you're intoxicated, add +3 to all damage you inflict. Furthermore, you can consume spoiled or uncooked meat and drink filthy water without getting sick or diseased. Furthermore, you can consume spoiled or uncooked meat and drink filthy water without getting sick or disease. Oh, there's the typo there. It's both. Furthermore, it's both things. I'm like, that's not furthermore. That's the same. I got to update this PDF, I guess. Yeah, look at him. He's got the hook. It's totally like Stitches or whatever in human form. Human. They get Covenant Magick, right? They bind themselves to the Endless Gullet, the Covenant of the Endless Gullet, and they have Ruinous Power. They immediately get a disorder and select one of the Gullet's aspects or replace your order alignment with it. Instead of fate points, you get Daemonic Gifts, and all of that is covered in the Liber Umbrarum. Cool. He's a big boy. I guess he could be an ogre. I mean, he's just a big human. There's the Burgomaster. You must possess at least two ranks in folklore to be a petty politician, right? This is a village mayor. So you used to be the mayor of a village, and now you're an adventurer. And you get the abilities de facto. So you speak with your master or lady's voice and has command of a breadth of knowledge and tools. So you're good at bargaining or educating. And then you have, do you know who I am? Immediately change your order alignment to dignity and your chaos alignment to vehemence. Good. You got kicked out of town for undisclosed reasons. Yeah, right. It's all that hamburgling. And this is the kind of character who is explicitly not a noble, right? They are the top of the bottom, right? They're like they're the highest ranking shitty peasant you can be. Yeah. This is cool. This caravan mystic. She reminds me of I remember looking at this art and thinking this is reminds me of Carnival. And I really like that in a medieval game they're portraying it is a wheelchair. Yeah, they're portraying a disabled character too. Which I think is quite cool. So you can possess a rank in folklore to enter this profession, and you can tell the future. You understand how to use the ritual of fortune telling. Furthermore, you treat the incantation skill as a common skill for the purposes of fortune telling. And the person who you told their future, they get a fate point. So that's cool. And then once a person has used their fate point, whoa. Oh, that's cool. It's tied right into the character, right? Once the person has used their fate point from your Weaver of Fate, you cannot walk for 1d10 plus 1 days. So your body suffers for their like benefit. And I bet you if you wanted to, it'd be real easy to switch this can't walk to you're blind for 1d10 days, or you are deaf for 1d10 days, or some other like infirmity that occurs as a result of you like weaving fate. Interesting. Yeah. Cool. Okay. There's a Chamberlain, who is like a valet, a person, a household servant who manages the logistics of a house, right? So you have to have education for that. Whenever you fail an education or leadership test, you can re-roll it, and then you immediately change your order alignment to duty and your chaos alignment to fatalism. It's pretty good. All right, cool. Le Chevalier. So this is how you work your way up, right? You go from Squire, Hedge Knight, Chevalier, right? This is like a proper knight, right? A secular knight, a noble knight, or a Templar. So you join a knightly order, which is either you're a knight because you're a noble, you're a knight because you learned the skill and became one, or you're a religious knight. And then you have strictures, so you change your alignment to duty and fatalism. Kind of like this guy. Cool. Okay. And this is about, wow, this is strong. This is pretty strong. Look at this. So any kind of chevalier can re-roll failed martial melee tests. That seems really strong. That's pretty cool, but that's like, if you roll and fail an attack, you just get to re-roll it. I guess that's why this is a character you have to like work up to get to be, right? You need a rank in martial melee and ride to be able to enter this profession. Interesting. Okay. So you could be a condottieri, which is a form of sellsword. And I guess the idea behind this guy is they don't travel just for mercenary purposes. They travel because they want to travel. They travel and fight because they like it. Because they're kind of savage, right? So whenever you make a melee attack or a perilous stunt, foes have to flip the results to fail to dodge, parry, or resist it. So that's kind of cool, right? You're just good at taking advantage of enemies' weaknesses. And then you are savage. So you change your order alignment to ferocity and your chaos alignment to hatred. Yeah, these are the dudes that they're the ones who get into being soldiers because not because they want to make money, because they love to kill, right? They like the pillage. They like to burn other people's houses down. Yeah, it's a dangerous line to walk. I would love to play a character like this, where you're just like trying to pretend like you're walking that line of humanity, right? Where you're like, I do this because it must be done. I do this because I want to seek coin, because I seek riches. Someday I'll stop. And then somebody points out, like, but you're rich now. You have such gold in your supply. Why don't you stop? And you're like, no. It's not time yet. I must keep fighting. But at the same time, you want to keep yourself away from becoming a chaos mutant, right? Like it's cool. This would have been like a proto Grigori, right? Grigori he's over the edge, right? Grigori went past that point. He was like, no, I do this because I like it. But this guy is like, you walk that line. I like it. That's a really cool, yeah. It's a cool character type. You can be a courtesan. So a courtesan is like the expert level above, I think it was above the prostitute class. You have to have charm and rumor to get this. And these, to the blue bloods of polite society, courtesans are preferable. Professional paramours and mistresses. So they have deadly beauty, which is basically like kind of like the Skinner ability. You succeed at a charm test, and a single person who can see you is captivated and will come towards you. Should they enter a dangerous area to approach you, they can attempt a resolve test. And then people have a hard time looking past your beauty and ignore the deeper aspects of your personality. You have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. So you can't assist other characters unless you have 2 ranks in the skill. Yeah. Aqua Helix. Look at that dude's pants. I mean, I don't see anything. It's just a shadow. Just a trick of the light. And yeah, that drawback is really cool. Just a shadow. Don't worry about it. Okay, so, I mean, pretty clear reference here on who this guy is. Cult leader. Possess 2 skill ranks in charm or education in order to enter this profession. Despite stories of vast armies of chaos, most seedlings of corruption are born from cults. So this guy, obviously, what you got to do with him is you get a bunch of hippies together, and then you go to Hollywood and you try to start a music career, and it doesn't work out for you, so you go crazy. But hey, who doesn't love the Beach Boys? Cult groups often have a dynamic leader whose authority is respected and often unquestioned. The incantation is a common skill for hypnosis. When you hypnosis someone, they become brainwashed. You can implant memories, remove memories, or they can recall an event that has transpired with perfect clarity. And then you have public enemy as a drawback. Places where you are recognized, you can't use fortune points unless you make means to hide who you really are. So regular society doesn't like you so much. And so, yeah, like this character would be like, remember how we were talking before about these are the advanced classes. So you could, if you were a character early on, you could choose to become an alienist if you want to be kind of a legitimate hypnotist, or if you want to go the Chuck Manson route, you can become a cult leader. You either are a healer or a charm. Like, it's interesting that they're kind of like the same. Yeah, they don't have the same skills, but you can see 2 ways forward from those things. Whoa, I don't know what a dire singer is, but this seems fucking cool. You need 1 skill rank in incantation and have to have either arcane or divine magic. The Black Lodge is the most mystifying and puzzling of all demons, both a place and an entity, a singular thing built from the ossified remains of dead gods, inscrutable, inexplicable, and not even overly malevolent. However, it's so alien, its agents and agendas are abhorrent to humanity. Fuck yeah! I want to be one of these. I would love to become a dire singer that manipulates the ethereal wind. Sign me the fuck up. And yes, it's absolutely a Twin Peaks reference. Yes, totally. In the original book, there is a reference to the Black Lodge with that the chessboard floor. Oh yeah, it's a dirge singer. You're right, dirge. That's right, not dire. So they take on an aspect of the season they're in. Changeable like the leaves of the trees, their ability and personality evolves as months pass. So in spring, you can generate a crit. If you generate a crit, you get a fortune point. In summer, you substitute incantation of any skill in place of any skill required to resist magic. In autumn, you never suffer mental peril due to failed resolve tests. And in winter, whenever you cast magic, you don't expend reagents. Cool. I like it that your abilities change seasonally. And then you're a practitioner of Covenant Magick and ignore drawbacks for your former arcane or divine magic professions. And you can now attempt to learn spells from the Covenant to the Black Lodge. Rad. Your drawback is ruinous power. The eyes of the demon are fixated on you. Immediately get a disorder. This is like normal stuff for anybody who like worships a demon or who is part of a demon's like entourage or group. Yeah. If you like, you could become an ecstatic celebrant. Look at how much fun these guys are having. Yeah. That's a fucking party right there. So these guys, you need to have incantation. This is a spell casting one. What happens when the Marchioness becomes bored of her masquerades or a duke grows grim of his drink? The Prince of Pleasure sees this as an opportunity to plant his demonic seed. Good. Okay. Fantastic. So these are people who lead like nobility and worship of the Prince of Pleasure. Yeah, yep. So what do? They insidious whisper. So when you're standing next to or engaged with a person, you can use your voice to compel another. Nice. He offends your sensibilities, my lord. Have him dragged to the dungeon. And I like that this game gives you lots of options for playing shit that isn't like an adventurer, right? Yeah. And then you get Covenant Magick and your Ruinous Power drawback. Yeah, you could be like Worm Tongue or whatever, yeah. Then there's the Exorcist. I guess if you play the Exorcist, you can automatically conjure a young priest and an old priest. It is a singular provost whose duty it is to excise heresy from within. And that is the Exorcist. The Exorcist has no access to magical prayers, but what they do possess is the unique ability to cast out haunts and spirits from the possessed. They also got that awesome Tubular Bells. It's such a good song. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't want to get rid of these demons. They look like they're having a good time. This lady looks like pretty hype. So the power of Sigmar. I think there's a Christ analog in this. Isn't there in Zweihander in the core book? I'm pretty sure that there is like a Jesus analog. Yeah, the Emperor. Yeah, so you could totally be like the power of the Emperor compels you. Yeah. So you get Spiritus Sanctus, Exorzamus te, omnis immundus spiritus, omnis satanica potestis, omnis incursio infernalis adversarii. My Latin's all right. I can fake Latin pretty good. So when facing a creature that is abyssal or supernatural, make an interrogation test. If successful, they remain stunned for a number of turns equal to your willpower bonus. It only works if they can both see and hear you clearly. You also understand how to use the ritual of exorcism. You walk a razor's edge, one foot in the abyss and the other in the material realm. This dangerous path can lead you to damnation. Whenever you suffer damage or peril from a restless spirit, you suffer 3 corruption. You are too close. You're too close. Yeah. Cool. I like that. Fanatic. Dude, you got eyes on the inside. Eyes on the inside. You must possess at least 1 skill rank in folklore. To most common folk, religion and the gods serve as a balm. As the world crumbles around them and descends into anarchy, they know they are right, and the gods will receive their just reward. However, there are those who believe that weekly prayers are not enough. They feel their flesh is weak. Oh boy. The ultimate result of the doomsayer, fanatics know nothing but pain and devotion. Right, okay. So you're either a heretic, a zealot, or a flagellant. If you're a flagellant, your damage threshold goes up the more injuries you have. As a heretic, you can counterspell divine magic. And if you're a zealot, whenever you or an ally render a foe of an opposing faith slain in combat, you get a +1 to your damage. Only enemies who are humanoids or mutants count towards this. Awesome. Well, he's got a club, and he's carrying around this huge spiked cross. I mean, if you're the zealot, yes, the ability is situational, but you make it non-situational by only killing or only going after enemies of the faith. Why would you fight anyone who isn't of an opposing faith? No. You seek out your enemies and you zealously slay them in combat. That's the idea. You convince your allies like, no, we must destroy the enemies of the faith. What difference is there in flaying yourself for the God Emperor or the Prince of Violence, aside from a slight change in name? Already exiles from the common folk. They get as their drawback the Gospel of Desolation, which immediately gives them a disorder. They can never wear armor. Should they don armor, they get no benefits to their professional trade. Damn. And then you put a cage on your head. Why doesn't that cage have spikes in the inside? Come on, guy. You're not doing hard enough. Crab arm eyeball axe? Fell knights are fierce, vociferous warriors who stand above other warriors, exemplifying unadulterated sanguinity and a devotion to the causes of corruption. Fuck yeah! Yeah, this guy's awesome. All right, so they get bonds of these are chaos knights, right? Like this is just like you want to be a chaos champion, you want to be a reaver evolved. Here you go. Literally fused with a harness of steel, your body absorbs the metal strength as it takes upon the tensile nature of muscle. You can metaphysically bond with a full suit of armor. You gain 1 permanent chaos rank. You ignore the encumbrance value. And furthermore, it cannot be destroyed or ruined. Finally, it doesn't negatively impact skill tests. You become part of your armor. And then you get a disorder, and for every enemy that is slain by your allies that you did not render the killing blow, you gain 3 corruption. Oh my god, that's so funny. So like you become this like metal warrior dude, but you have to get the kill shot or you get corruption. Amazing. You have to prove yourself to the chaos gods. Yeah, that was mine. Rad. Screaming about kill stealing. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. All right, so again, another like apostolic choice to like move out that way. The friar. Look at how sad this guy is. Look, he's praying so that this guy doesn't come to his house. Dear God, please keep him away from me. I'm coming to your house. No, please don't do it. So he gets holy raiment. Whenever you wear the robes of your office and a holy symbol, you get plus, oh, Jesus Christ, look at this fucking space marine. We'll get to you. You get +1 to both your damage and peril thresholds. But you are avowed. You cannot accumulate property. Cool. So you're a monk. So like, I guess you could be this guy. Like, you set out in life to become a religious person, and you're like, what lies before me? I could be a friar, or I could fucking rip shit up with this outfit. So yeah, that's cool. That's this guy. Much harder to become. You have to have 2 skill ranks in ride and martial melee to become this guy. Yeah, what has he got on him? He's got like, it says Ursus, which means bear. I don't see any other bear stuff. His helmet has wings, and his armor has wings, and he's got the like fascist eagle on him. And I think he has 1 eye. So like, he's got it covered. If he was bald and screaming, then it'd be perfect. He'd be completely like settled. So this guy is a Grand Master, the head and de facto commander of a fraternal order of Grail Knights. Oh, Ursus can also mean to bear, like to carry. He is the bear. Okay, so rad. Every time I change the page, I see somebody cool. So he gets Valorous Aura, so inspires, and enemies get the Litany of Hatred when he inspires his allies. His drawback is called Injustice for All. Grandmaster Dunkelwasser von Arter. Dunkelwasser is dark water? Dunkelwasser von Arter once famously said, "When I cross the River Leith, my last conscious thoughts will be of the Order, and the Order, and the Order. Nothing is more sacred to the Grandmaster than the Order they serve, holding it above their own family and blood." Their alignment becomes pride, and their chaos alignment becomes arrogance. Sick. I like that. I like the idea that different professions drive you to change your alignment. Like becoming a Grandmaster makes you prideful and arrogant. It's very cool. All right, the Grey Vivimancer. Deep below the earth, the cabals of the Skurzak Chitter. Oh, the Skurzak are the rat dudes in this. I can't remember what they're called in. Skaven. They're the Skaven. Thank you. It is unknown what brings about the creation of a Grey Vivimancer, but is a curse indeed. Both Skurzak and other folks who become one of these dark priests grow goat-like horns that arch past their head, seen as a blessing from the 13. Oh, of course. Most Grey Vivimancers have green within green eyes, a signature of their Wytch-stone addiction. Skurzak Vivimancers are close advisors to a broodmother of a cabal, while humanoid Vivimancers serve as liaisons to Skurzak power on the outside world. It's a Grey Seer, yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah, big fat rat. I love it. So they get the Weirding Way. So whenever they're under the effects of Wytch-stone essence, they reduce the number of AP to cast spells, and then they become part of the Covenant of the 13, and they get ruinous power. So another chaos sorcerer. Yeah. For the Doog Mother. Cool. All right. This is a really good one. I really like this one. I'm going to read the whole description of this one because I think it's important. So, Grognard, you must be an adult, middle-aged, or elderly, and possess 2 skill ranks in warfare in order to enter this profession. Although veterans of all stripes share the same mirthless disposition, Grognards are a breed apart. Due to their flagging physical abilities, they're oftentimes retired from service, but notable for their compendious knowledge of simulation and war. Not only visibly hard-bitten and battle-scarred, they articulate these rough qualities with their legendary complaining. While most veterans sulk and let their bitterness turn to self-interest, Grognards vent their frustration loudly, moaning about lamentable condition they find themselves in. Strangely, instead of being punished, leaders can't help but find the stubborn candor of the Grognard endearing. Armed with charts, tables, miniature soldiers, and unit statistics, the Grognard simply can't help but be one step ahead of an opponent, a trait even the foremost soldiers of war find useful. Eventually, the obstinate nature of the Grognard can turn even their most ardent defenders against them. Forward thinkers find the Grognard's unwillingness to grasp new concepts or change their routine somewhat pathetic. Stories of past battle become repetitive. Pearls of wisdom devolve into long-winded lectures. These ancient militants become engrossed in bitter feuding with the younger warriors. Leaders consign Grognards and their ilk to the back of the camp so as not to bring down the morale of the troops. Fortunately for others, Grognards tend to ally with other Grognards, complaining together in veterans' halls and other echo chambers where obsequious hangers-on virtually worship every word the Grognard espouses. The constant grumbling over the swine of the new school, Gygaxian musings over the many pole weapons of garrisons from yesteryear, and grousing over the value of the old school and newly found military stratagems quickly whittles down even the Grognard's ability to learn new things. A Grognard simply can't help it. They see this sort of progressiveness as surrender, and Grognards will always choose death over capitulation. Their special ability is Hex Encounter. There's a rule for every action on the battlefield, and it took you years to master all those subtle rules, no matter how esoteric. You can flip the results on warfare tests. In addition, when the GM intends to spend a misfortune die, if the result is 6, they have to spend 2 instead of 1. Excuse me. And their drawback is Grumbler. Being a remnant of the old guard, you can't help but struggle to adjust to new things. You change your order alignment to wisdom and your chaos alignment to rancor, and you must spend an additional 50 reward points to buy skill ranks. Fucking awesome. Buying new skills is a lot more expensive. Look at this little pokey helmet dude down here. I love him. I love it. Old man yells at cloud. Yep. It's pretty clever. I like it. I like the tongue-in-cheek. The thing that I love about Zweihander's brand is that it is both grim and gritty, but also it's still funny. It's funny and a bit silly in a way that I think Warhammer has lost, right? Like, Warhammer takes itself really seriously, but Zweihander is like, we take ourselves really seriously. Everything's really gritty and dark. I really like it. Yeah, Warhammer used to be like that. Yeah, I think it's really good. It's cool. You could be a Havoc Conjurer. Look at her. She's got eyeballs on her arm. What is your deal, lady? So, incantation. She is a servant of the black, or let's see. She managed to physically survive the black energy of their demon. Oh, so she's like a mutant. Cool. Havoc Conjurers are constantly racked by seething demonic energy. Like Fell Knights, they compete to be elevated to the position of Dread Count. Oh yeah, she has 3 legs. I didn't even notice that. Look. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on her arm. Good. Good. She's fine. That's cool. You inspire stress or fear or terror depending on your spells because of benediction. Ha, that's cute. In place of the demon prince, you shall have me, not dark but bewitching and beauteous as the dawn. All shall adore me and bask in my light of despair. Uh-huh. Sounds familiar. Yep. And then, like the other masters, she gets Covenant Mastery and drawback, ambition denied. So she's got to like fight and kill and win. God, something about this next character that seems so familiar to me. What is something about, the Hexer. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it'll come to me. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. Does having 3 legs mean you have 2 asses? Or no, I think you have like a butt in between 2 legs, and then you have like nothing in between another set, and then I don't know. I don't know what's going on under there. It doesn't matter. So the Hexer needs a rank in folklore. In addition, successfully imbibed a mutagenic potion. Every Hexer worth their steel carries 2 swords, worth their salt carries 2 swords, one of steel and one of cold iron. They coat both blades with oil-based toxins they specialize in concocting. Before they are made a Hexer, they go through 3 rigorous trials. Whenever they attempt to resist disease or poison, they can flip the results. They know how to use the ritual of Trace Sigil. And they have mutagenic transformation. After swallowing a host of mutagenic compounds, a Hexer is born. They gain the eunuch drawback. In addition, they're considered both a humanoid and a mutant. Also, they lose their personality completely and become a cardboard box person. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. I like it. And again, that kind of silly, like tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, not even trying to hide it. Just like, we'll just change the proper names, and that's how it goes. So Howling Marauder seems like another Reaver upgrade path. This one has more severed heads. Oh, I get it. It's Blade. Right, yeah. So these are like northern horseback barbarian marauder types. And they are disciples to chaos. You pick a ruinous power. Yeah, it's true. Hexer is the German name for Witcher. Yep. And you are an occultist of the Prince of Change, Decay, Pleasure, Violence, or the Outsider. And then you get different gifts according. And then you have the ruinous power drawback. Hey, there's the Moonhead guy. So the Infernal Saboteur. This is a Prince of Change occultist that hides in plain sight, ensconces themselves in a position of influence, and then destabilizes orderly society from within. Yeah, it's a mask. This is it's Joy from Burning Wheel. Yeah, or it's Mac at Night, that weird McDonald's commercial from the 90s. So the Prince of Change gives you a special gift. You don't have to spend reward points to learn spells, and you triple your IB to determine how many spells you can cast. But then the same drawbacks, right? You get the Covenant Magick and the Ruinous Power. Yeah. No, the Outsider is that missing Chaos God, right? Like back in OG Warhammer, there was it Malar? Mac something? Because it used to be, it was like Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, and then Malal. But Malal just kind of went away. I think the Outsider is supposed to be the Malal replacement. Yeah, I think. I don't totally remember. So Jackdaws. These are cut purses and I think this is like a break and enter type of deal. Yeah. Master thieves who steal crown jewels, plunder relics from reliquaries, and cozen a duchess's lady in waiting. Okay, yeah, they're cool, hey? So you get the Black Art, which is flipping your test on skullduggery. So you're really good at like you're quick with your hands. And then red-handed. So whenever you fail, you can't use fortune points to change your results. So if you get busted, you're busted. Yeah. Keep up a facade of respectability and go so far as to maintain identities as upstanding members of society. Right? It's the noble cat burglar, that kind of thing. Yeah. Kinslayer. Okay. All right. Good. In some societies, there's a curious institution called Weregild, an old word meaning man price. Every object and person has a price. However, not everyone's willing to make these reparations. The Kinslayer collects Weregild through use of force. Interesting. Kinslayers are killers who... Being a Kinslayer requires tenacity, apathy, ruthlessness, and a little jadedness, all of which gnomes embody. I was wondering why you look like this. So it's like gnomes really like doing this job. Interesting. Okay. And you get Blood Oath. Voluntarily move 3 steps down the damage condition track negatively, and enact a Blood Oath. Whenever you use Fury dice to do weapon damage, they explode on 1 or 6. Okay, cool. And then Dead or Alive. Whenever you enact a Blood Oath, you are under the effects of Vow of Fealty, right? So you self-cast that spell. Yeah, kind of like gnomish, like Slayers. Yeah, that's neat. I feel like I should know this reference. Like, obviously, it's like a Da Vinci reference, but it feels like a very specific Da Vinci reference. This is the Maestro. And I don't... Yeah, like, I feel like there's something... I know it's the Mona Lisa. Like, I get that. But this face, like, it feels like it's from a movie or something. But yeah, that's a badass Mona Lisa. This guy shows up in art later. So the Maestro is like an artist... and a performer. He kind of looks like Orson Welles a little bit. Yeah, it has kind of a referential energy to it, but I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, he's a virtuoso. You create works of art, and you can roll chaos dice, and they will expand. And then you have celebrity status. So everywhere you go, your renown precedes you, which makes it hard for you to hide who you are. Yeah, these are all player classes, exactly. Oh, fun. You could be a minister of rot. Look at that smiling face. Don't look down here. Just up here. Don't look at the maggots. Look up here. Look at how happy this person is. Minister of rot with the Cheshire grin. You can substitute charm in place of guile. You can substitute charm in place of any skill required to parry melee weapons. What? What? That's so cool. You can parry with charm. I love that shit. That's so good. And then they get Covenant Magick for the Prince of Decay. So you take a swing at them and they just like smile beatifically at you. And you're like, ugh, and you miss. Yeah. You wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you? That's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Yeah, I like it. Cool. We got a Moot Warden. So while their gates are guarded... Oh, these are people that watch over the areas around like villages. That's kind of cool. So you're like a defender of a town, a provincial peasant hero, deterring unwanted visitors. They get border patrol, so they pick a foe. If that foe is left defenseless to all ranged attacks and called shots with ranged weapons. Nice. So it's like Hunter's Mark. But you have to be duty and fatalism for your alignment. Yeah. We passed silly a while ago. Yes. The game is, it's definitely not like, again, serious on the face of it with lots of little details that make it kind of like over the top. Natural Philosopher, which is kind of like a scientist, an alchemist, sort of. You get Wytch-science. Metal tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces, magic from the hand, Wytch-science. Yeah, okay. You can use tradecraft to forge fantastic machines like the Rumblebutler. You have an Icarus complex. So whenever you critically fail to make something, then it's worse, basically, whenever you fail. You could be Theoden King, the Oath Keeper, right? This is the historian, warrior poets in their communities. And they get a Book of Oaths and a Book of Grudges. 2 books. So if you've been injured or slain by a creature and survived, their kind becomes your grudge-born enemy. And they get to hurt you more. But also you can tell stories and influence characters. So that's cool. Good. This is depicting the ancient war between Gulistan and Walstania. Yeah, if you get killed and then brought back to life with magic or whatever. Also, slain is just like the dying condition. I think you can recover from it if people get to you fast enough and stick your organs back in. Yeah. Oh, here's that lady, the sun hat lady from. I mean, she's the what's her name from fucking He-Man, right? What's that He-Man villains? That lady, Evelyn. Yeah, kind of looks like Evelyn. Yeah, a little bit. Let's see, Evelyn. Let me see a picture. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Cool. So she's a covenant magician. Let's see, occult magician. Oh, so they're just like spellcasters that are not like priests to specific gods. They try to use chaos magic for their own good, not like not helping a chaos god particularly. Yeah, this is like an advanced class for Macaria. Psionic disruption. Whenever a character that can see you, fuck yes. Oh, you can use scrutinize to fuck with people. So, whenever a character that you can see clearly takes their turn, you can scrutinize them. You can scrut them to death, and by succeeding, they become disrupted. In combat, should your disruption cause them to bring harm to their allies, they can attempt to make a resolve test. You can use it outside of combat, but any action you declare cannot exceed 10 seconds of time. Fuck yeah, give them evil eye. That's right. And then same thing, she gets Covenant Mastery, and then immediately gains a malignancy because she is damned. The power you wield is destructive to your very soul. Whoa. That's a cool wizard. The outside. Oh, this is the Malal like worshiper. Yeah. The former Prince of Anarchy, exiled from the abyss by his peers, the anti-chaos god. Yeah. Yeah. Rad. Cool. So they get renegade magic. They can affect abyssal and supernatural creatures. This would be a really fun class to play because you get to use evil power, but you can still be kind of like a good guy. It's the Boromir thing, right? Where you're like, we must use the power of the outsider to destroy our enemies of chaos. So you can kind of work with like a knight or whatever without going full on like Bananarama monster. Yeah. You got to see this pattern in me, right? Like I like characters that walk the strange path, right? Openers of the way are truly queer specimens. Their goal stands clear: kill all believers. Right? That's pretty cool. Yep, I like it. All right, cool. Outlaw Chief. So simple melee to enter this. Oh, this is just like a boss carriage thief, right? A boss robber. Raise the shield or be cast into death. Take a final look, your final breath. No turning back in battle. There is no law. How many of these are lyrics to songs? How many? Many? Yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yep. So add both punishing and reach to all one-handed melee weapons that you use. But whenever you fail resolve, you take stress. Okay. Cool. Physiker, right? This is the like academic, the doctor, right? The corpse mangler. They can actually heal your peril condition while they heal your body. And then they're overworked. Whenever you suffer peril due to stress, fear, or terror, it's worse. Yeah, overworked doctor. Poor guy. Yep. So I noticed Nightman, if you're having trouble with the link, that's a 0, not an O in that link. So try it with a 0. Should work out for you. You can also, if you're in chat, you can also use the Main Gauche command and then just click that link. Same thing. Cool. All right. Rhyme Maiden. In the icy climes of the Witch Queen, magic takes on a different hue. Boreal squalls from crevices between icebergs. Insidious whispers of the Witch Queen herself. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. Do you want to become a snowman? That's pretty badass. So, Cold Heart. You always succeed at skill tests to resist damage and peril because, the cold never bothered you anyway. And then you get magic to serve the Witch Queen, the icy Witch Queen. Okay, cool. You can be a Rune Jarl. Cool. Nice. I like that. That's good. You can become this cool dude. Oh shit, look at this hot guy. Damn, this is somebody's fetish. Put some armor on, man. You know, I hate the state of masculine armor in fantasy these days. They put a helmet on the guy, and then they treat it like that's going to protect him. If he gets stabbed anywhere other than his legs or his face, he's just going to die. You know, something really needs to be done about this. Also, his shoulder guard and his like big poofy cape thing, that's very Warhammer. Also, I like he has the Punisher skull on his on his cloak there. That's good. He's a sanguine legionnaire, a battle-hungry warrior that serves the demon fiends. He gets anointed by chaos, so you can channel power to increase your chances at combat-based skill tests, and then the drawback of ruinous power. Yeah, the cloak is so old school Chaos Warrior, right? He looks like a miniature from Hero Quest. And then you can be a sharpshooter. Kind of getting like a D&D Merida vibe from this lady. It's pretty cool. Oh, do I skip the Jarl traits? Oh, they get magic. They get Futhark magic. Yeah, I skipped it because it's just like you get the two kinds. You get the rune magic, and it's in a different book. Yeah, so they don't have anything special. I mean, they don't have anything special. They have magic, but they don't have anything unique to their character class. Sharpshooter gets every time you hit somebody, you deal more damage to them next time. So that's pretty cool, right? Every time you hit them, thump, 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 thump. One must have a callous indifference towards the sanctity of life to move from being a tourney archer to a hunter of men. Targeteers who are consumed by the act of killing are utterly corrupted, while others who maintain proper decorum remain untainted by their grisly work. When you take an innocent life unprovoked, automatically gain 1 permanent chaos rank, right? That's the person who is like clutching their bow and they're like, I could kill any motherfucker in this room. I could kill any motherfucker within 300 yards. I'm like a god. Just like following the old lady down the road, hand trembling. I could just do it. I could just ice that lady just for fun. That's intense. That's a cool drawback. I decide who lives and dies. Yeah, right? Like the crazy sniper. Just like looking at everybody through your gun scope. I've noticed, and I really, really appreciate this. I've noticed, and I like this. The artist that does the work for this game, he loves a good bulge. He loves to draw a good bulge. Like, it's just a thing. Yeah, he's into it, and I like it. It's everywhere. It's good. Look good. Unless you're covering the bulge. Yeah, everybody looks like a little bulge. Yeah, it's good. It's nice. There's stuff down there. There's junk in the trunk, all right? So the shipmaster is a captain of a seafaring vessel. So that's cool if you want to do like a naval campaign, especially with the added rules for vehicles in this. So you get aye skipper. So navigating, you can flip your success, and you add your initiative value to how far you can swim. But when you're not born upon water or a boat, your initiative is reduced by your chaos ranks. Okay, cool. Look at this guy. This fight's not going well for everyone except her. She's kicking ass. Shopkeeper. Oh, that's a cool choice for shopkeeper. Yeah. Possess at least 1 skill rank in bargain. You get no mere NPC. Cute. Some may mistake you for just another hawker on the docks or greengrocer. You're anything but. You're a big spender, a wheeler dealer, and you know how to distinguish trash from real treasure. Drawback, however, the customer is always right. When you fail to bargain or rumor, you can't change your results with a fortune point. Yep. Good. Good. Your Majima? Whoa. A Sirocco prophet. The tusked one is comprised of 3 forms. The most mysterious and merciless is the Hell Furnace. Hell Furnace demands ceaseless subjugation and sacrifice from the Divergar. Okay, so this is like a dark dwarf, like a rune priest that serves the Hell Furnace. Cool, Chaos Dwarves, yeah. Oh, skeet, motherfucker. Oh, skeet, goddamn. So you don't need to be able to speak to cast magic. In addition, you automatically resist touch-based spells, and then you get your ruinous power and your Covenant Magick. Right, the dark forge. Whoa! Oh, she killed an owlbear. That's an owlbear skin for sure. Damn. The Hell Furnace Boar thing is Motorhead. Yeah. Skinwalker. The true gods, light of the true gods have yet to shine upon them. They worship primevals, superior apex creatures of the natural world. Primal Rage. You challenge the might, speed, and channel the might, speed, and intelligence of the primeval your clan has bound them to. Addercap Spider, Barrel-Bellied Orc, Death Bat, Dire Rat, Howl Bear, Silverback Warg, or Water Panther. Cool. Okay. Good. Yeah, the Howl Bear. There it is. There's a skull. I don't know what a Water Panther is. A crocodile, I guess? Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then you have a monstrous weakness. If you're struck by mithril or cold iron, and they've been imbued with magic, you take extra damage. Sworn Sword is a... this is a person who fights for other people. This is, fucking, what's his name? From Game of Thrones, in the first one, where Tyrion needs to do the trial by combat, and the other dude steps in to fight for him. Bronn. Yeah. That's Bronn. Yeah. So there exists a legal procedure where you prove your innocence through combat. You don't fight in your own defense. You can call on a judiciary champion, a sworn sword, ready to lay their life on the line. Nice. So they duel for someone else. Trial by combat. Whenever you inflict a grievous injury upon a foe, they are instantly slain instead. What justice giveth, justice can easily taketh away. Wow. It's pretty hot. I like it. And then Achilles' heel. Despite your mostly unerring martial attitude, you become overwhelmed when facing 3 or more combatants at once. Oh, that's good. So like you suck at fighting more than one person because you're trained to fight like a small number of foes. Rad. That's cool. All right, and then you're a vampire hunter. This is not Vampire Hunter D. This is just a regular vampire hunter. Oh my god. God damn it, Daniel. Damn, Daniel, listen. One such story tells tells of a female hunter named Lady Summers who surrounded herself with roughshod apprentices, an antiquarian named Rupert, a man who could transmute into a wolf, and Willow the Hedgewise. At one point, she even reputedly aligned with a vampire to hunt down other vampires. In every generation, there is a chosen one. They alone will stand against the vampires, demons, and forces of darkness. They are the Slayer. Oh, God. God love you. God love you, you fucking nerd. I love that they chose... So there's a lot of vampire hunters, right? Like, it could be... The referring material could be Van Helsing, right? That's the obvious choice. It could be... any number of like traditional like vampire hunters, but I love they went Buffy, that they were just like, nah, fuck it. We're just going to make this class based on Buffy. I like it. So any weapon you wield is under the effect of anoint weapon. You understand how to use blessed sacrament, but only to create holy water. Excuse me. But you're haunted by terrible dreams. And in them, they turn from hunter to hunted. Yeah, I think if you went Blade, you'd want to go like the half vampire, right? Because Blade's big difference is that he's like he's part vampire, so you could do both. You could have this vampire hunter, and then you could have like the dumb peer and do the daywalker thing. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Vampire Hunter D is also one of those. Yep. Okay, war general. No bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. You won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. Whoa, damn! Look at that fucking guy. Again, really nice approach. taking, like, instead of being like, here's what you might expect from the art for this, I love when they take a spin that this guy's cool. Look at that dude. Herr Sunna once said, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. You will implore your comrades to find an opening when mayhem arises. So another character that has a bonus to inspiring word, allies get opportunity attacks, and whenever you succeed at Litany of Hatred, enemies cannot counterspell, dodge, or parry the next attack their allies make. But they're often more concerned with the point of the spear than the heavy lifting required to get supplies to the front. So your initiative and movement get reduced the more perilled you are. Interesting. All right. So we're coming up on the end. We got Witch Doctor. I think Witch Doctor might be our last one. Yeah, this is our last one, the Witch Doctor. Of all the demons in the maw, the tusked one's form of the slavering maw is the wildest and most unpredictable. Yeah. Ooh, ee, ooh, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Good. Very nice. When you succeed in invoking a petty chaos manifestation, you can heal one person. You can clearly see up one damage track. No joke, he looks like me. I mean, I don't have the hair to be this particular witch doctor, but he's got the pose down. Yeah, he definitely does. I love that it's a reference to a fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks song. Again, world takes itself really seriously. Game, not so much. And I like that. I feel like that's a fun way to go at it. Yep. I had to check. It's a fucking Chipmunks song. Yep. Now, if I were to cosplay this character, he would need a little less hair, a little more here, a little more in the tummy region, probably a little shorter. Otherwise, yeah, I'm into it. So you get manifestations of chaos magic. You get your slavering maw spells, and that's that. That's all the characters. There is a lot. There is a lot of that. Like, man, just that chapter alone, it's 92 pages. I don't know what the total page count on this is, but like, yeah, that's a lot. It's a big expansion on the base level. So here's our addendum table for expert professions, just letting us know what you need to get it. So you can kind of look at it at a glance to see what tier you need to be and what kind of special abilities you need to have. Brienne of Tarth? Oh, I see. This is the new arms and armor. Yeah, it's 300 pages and it's only $10. Jesus. So what other new gear do we get? Let's take a look. So availability, new materials, cold iron, ironwood, mithril, steel. Okay. Oh, cool. So that implies that everything in the other book is made of iron, and you have to like pay extra to make it steel. It's pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Okay. So iron is the most common metal used for arms of war. Steel is like rare. Neat. Oh, yeah, right. So the last stream that we did, we made a character whose name was Duger von Clud, who was a gnome with one leg. And we named her after Dodger. She was a pit fighter. Thanks, Daniel. Duger von Clud reduces a foe to grievously wounded. So there you go. You're in a role-playing game. Duger von Clud. She was a mess, too. Half-gnome granny. That's right. She was an old half-gnome with one leg. Cool. So new weapons, new qualities for some of the weapons. This is where we're starting to get into some of the like bigger, like weirder guns and man catchers, various Grognardian polearms, etc. More big swords. The weird whip sword down here. Pretty good stuff. I do not want a man catcher anywhere near me. That would hurt so bad. I think jammed around your neck. Woof. All right, table for all these weapons. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they're cool. Here's some guns. Flamethrower, because you didn't know you needed that. Repeater crossbows, hand cannons, witchfire guns, rampart guns. Some new armor. And then we get into war machines. So battering rams, cannons, whatever the fuck this crazy thing is. What's a pickle gun? Oh, it's a puckle gun. Primitive flintlock guns affixed to a tripod, pivoting where the crew may wish to point it. Fires either conventional bullets or square ones reserved for heretics and infidels. Oftentimes, square bullets are bathed in pig's blood, believed to be a great insult to the orcs. It's a puckle gun. All right, cool. And then a powder keg, which is obviously painted red. I was like, it's a pickle gun? I'm not sure what the square bullets for heretics thing is. I think that's a reference to like D6s. But the pig's blood and weird shaped bullet thing is real. All right, well, look up puckle guns and see what that's about. The spin on a square, yeah, right. The orcs, yeah, ORX. Those are the like pigmen in this, yeah. Ah, yes, time for chariot racing and sword fights. Good. Okay. Liber Vehiculorum. So this is war machines, and various other machinery. The Arkwright Cauldron, which is like an engine, I think. Bottled lightning, an elemental source of witchstone oil. A difference engine. So, you know, if you need a magical calculator. What else we got? One-man automated velocipedes, like the Hal Davidson. Wait a second. Oh, that's a Harley Davidson reference. A Hal Davidson. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. The Iron Horse, the Juggernaut Frigate, the Kugelpanzer, the Rumblebutler, the Torch Lamp, Zeppelins now. So if you want Zeppelins in your game, this is awesome. This picture, I don't know. This thing is terrifying. I guess that's the Kugelpanzer. Yeah, that's the Kugelpanzer. The Doom Wheel. Yep. Okay, good. Good. Fantastic. Cool. And then additional rules for all of these things and qualities to add to your own vehicles. Difference engine, not usable in vehicle combat. It's a calculator. Cool art. A settler's wagon, a noble's carriage, and then this fucking thing with a Chaos Knight on it. Good. Oh, wow. Nice. Stagecoach, fancy coach, war wagon. Wow. Cool. Okay. And then additional rules for for pulling the wagon, like a dwarf, an elf, or a gnome. Yeah. Okay. Various steeds, types of horses, and then vehicle combat, right? So, Jesus Christ. Now we're getting World of Warcraft down here. So yeah, this is how you do driving vehicles, fighting on vehicles, taking other actions in combat. Yeah, if you want to do fantasy Mad Max, this is how we make it happen. So different actions in combat to change where you are and do your positioning. Things for losing control. Interesting. This is one of those horseless wagons, right? Yeah, I'd love to see this in action. These are the kind of things, the rules are interesting, but without a deeper dive and actually playing them, it's hard to say kind of what they look like. But yeah, Warhammer Full Throttle. Cool. Okay. So expansion on it, and you go through steps, and it's a discrete system for doing battles that involve vehicles, which is nice. Cool. And the various mishaps and what have you. I like that the moon is an angry face in every single one of these. I love it. It's so good. I don't know why, but I have to assume that in the universe, the moon's a big angry face. Yeah, see? Here's the guy. Here's the chaos dude again, and that guy's face looks so familiar. Also, Mona, honey, you're not looking so good. Woof. Yeah, painting the Mona Lisa with blood. And then this guy just hanging out. Yeah, he's painting with the knife. Well, he's got brushes, but yeah. The portrait of Dorian Lisa. Yeah. So this is the alchemy rules. So you can create decoctions, right? So what it requires. So crafting rules, basically. So if you like crafting in your game and you want to play an alchemist, it tells you what kinds of material you need. I love that it just gives you a skill test to find them. It's not like you need this specific thing necessarily. It's just like an arduous survival test should be able to get it for you in case you want to like gloss over that. Hey, remember that awesome dice game from the Witcher 2 video game? Here's a way to introduce it to your game. Dice poker is an exciting way to shake things up around a table. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty into that. Like here, we just give you a one-page mini game if you feel like having characters like place bids and like fight. And yeah, obviously he just outright says it. And this is like a sidebar, right? This is a sidebar to say like, hey, I really like this thing. Here's an in-universe like dice game that people can play. Yeah. How to like bump the table and like have loaded dice and stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Mutagenic potions, Wytch-science of the definitely not Skaven, void salts. Yeah. More options for characters, right? Whether they're NPCs or PCs in the game. Yeah. Witch slime, various new diseases like Tree Man syndrome. Rules for possession. Witchstone addiction. That's cute. It's that animated GIF with the math floating around. I like that. It does kind of look like Shakira. Oh yeah, devil weed. Satan's lettuce. Green fairy. And coffee. Rules for coffee. Okay, cool. Yeah. So absinthe and coffee. So coffee in this game, when affected by a dose, you can recover from imperiled to unhindered on the peril condition track. When affected by 2 doses, gain the abilities above and ignore the negative effects of sleep deprivation for 2 hours. When affected by 3 doses, gain all benefits above and ignore the effects of starvation for 3 hours. Drinking any dose of coffee prevents you from falling asleep for the next 6 hours. And yeah, this drawing reminds me of somebody too, right? A lot of face references in this. It says patron saint of I can't read what this says. Patron saint of adventure writing, maybe. 1 hour to prepare. This is some pour over shit. Yeah. And then it says like it says with our many thanks sketched onto the board here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Let's see what else we got. Madame Geneva, or the spirit we know as Jinn. The gin-selling cat. In response to the gin craze, curiosities such as the Puss and Mew machine have found their way along busy street corners. Vending machines with a metal relief of a cat installed into a brick wall and connected to a keg of Madame Geneva by a lead pipe. Inserting 2 brass pennies into the contraption's mouth and uttering the words, "Puss, give me 2 penny worth of gin." It provides a single dose per pour. What? Amazing. And of course it's a lead pipe. Yeah, so, you know. It's so good. There's so many little references like throughout. Good, good. Perform hypnosis. Poor baby. Pretty good. And then tell me what happened. And how does it make you feel? When you talk about the orcs, does it make you think of your father? Yeah! Wow. Cool. So what's happening here, obviously, is that this guy has cut out this lady's heart, and now a crab claw is erupting from his ribs. This is what you get. This is what you get, kids, for cutting people's hearts out. Don't do it. It's not good for you. It'll give you horrific mutations, or it'll turn your head into a goat head. So this is becoming a chaos worshiper, right? Obviously. Here's some more Black Lodge art. Tells you how your character changes when you worship things like the Endless Gullet or the Outsider. So changes to alignment, the aspects of the various monsters. This is pretty cool. This like the Prince of Pleasure's cabinet. One chaos point to anyone who recognizes all of the objects in this shrine. This picture was painted with 50 Shades of Grey. Yep. Prince of Pleasure, Prince of Violence, Slavering Maw, the 13, the Witch Queen, and then Daemonic Gifts. Bunch more new ones. So that's fun. I like the idea of like, I mean, obviously, if you play a game where people could become chaos worshippers. Oh, this is the full size of that other art we saw. So you play a game in which people can become chaos worshippers. You want to give them the ability to gain some cool chaos gifts. So yeah. So here's new magic, right? Covenant magic, new spells, which obviously we're not going to have time to go through every single one, but there's a bunch of new ones, right? Repeat art of characters we've seen before in action, summoning a horrific city-destroying tornado. So that's cool. Kind of ramping up the chaos magic here, giving you some extra stuff. Oh, the art is just so good. Oh, that's cool. To cast the Carbuncle of Horror, you have to eat a diseased person's pancreas. Gross. Gross. Dance with the devil. Oh, God. Ah, there it is. 50 Shades of Pain. With soft words, you cause a person to flip their pain and pleasure receptors. They gain sexual arousal from pain and agony from pleasure. After successfully casting the spell, any person who can see and hear you is aroused. While aroused, if they suffer damage, they temporarily gain plus 20 base chance on their next skill test. If they don't suffer damage, they suffer a minus 20 based skill test. Yikes. Yikes. Cool. Yeah, a bunch of orc spells. See, there's Bad Moon Rising. A strange illusion follows the moon. A twisted, stitched together. Oh, so this is it's a spell, Bad Moon Rising. And then anyone who's not an occultist of the Slavering Maw has to succeed at a resolve test or suffer from terror. Right. Yeah, goblin magic. Yep. Glasgow Kiss. It's a magic headbutt. These are great. Caustic rain. Caustic rain. Witchfire knives. Abjure spirit. Oh, this stuff's so good. Cool. All right. And then we get into rituals like making golems, conjuring true names. This was the rune abilities, right? Scrying from runes. Whoa. Who's this grim motherfucker? Oath to the Peerage. Okay, now Bad Rune Rising is stuck in your head. Okay, so there's our hexer again. There's that damn crab arm. Evil in and oh, she's building this thing. Yow. Wow. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's been severed, and now we're going to attach it to this terrific monster. Pretty cool. Oh, because this is the creature creator. So in this game, are those baby hands? I don't know where. Oh God. Oh, its foot is made out of baby arms. Oh God. Fuck. Look. Cool. So this is the creature creator. So now you can make your own. And they walk you through it, right? So creating like the example is a demon dog and like a hellhound, and so it's for like making your own thing. Cool. I like that. We made one of these for Dungeon World like pretty early on because you want to be able to make your own stuff. You want to look at a game and be like, well, these are great, but I'd love to be able to craft my own monsters. So kind of like the Monster Burner from Burning Wheel gives you a bunch of like traits and options and special abilities. Initial demon dog. It's like the next step up from a monster manual, like making your own damn monsters. I like it. Cool. And then yeah, making NPCs like fast, right? 5-sentence NPCs and then building them out. Cool. I like this. Yeah. Despite the approach you choose, you can always stop at the end of simple approach or carry on to complex approach. That's really cool. So it gives you like fast NPCs or full-on NPCs. Yeah. And Warhammer was very trait focused with creatures. Yeah, exactly. So it's like how you build them. And then of course, random tables. If you need names for your characters. So here you go. We'll name the NPC Danziger Eckhart, the misfortunate protagonist at the beginning of both Zweihander and Main Gauche. His name was inspired by the band Danzig and the term edgelord, which seems to fit the tongue-in-cheek, jokish nature of Zweihander, and thus the surname Eckhart. In our home game, he went by the moniker Sunshine because his personality was so dour. Now imagine what sort of impact our protagonist would have if he was simply called Danziger Sunshine. Would it instill the same sense of respect, reverence, or caution that Eckhart would connote? Right, names are important. Pretty cool. Yeah, so you make your character on the simple end, and then if the players get attached to them, or if you need to give them more depth, you can continue and build them up from there to make a fully fledged, NPC. Interesting. Cool. It's the Dimmer Sisters. Yeah, because like this is a problem I have with Dungeons and Dragons. Like if I want to create a monk, I have to either make a PC or I have to use the like stat block that they gave me, which is frustrating because they're underpowered now for my campaign. But PCs are not meant to fight PCs in that game. So a proper tool for creating humanoid monsters fast would be really, really cool. Yeah, so that's neat. I like it. Yeah, cultists, get ready to get toasted. Cool. And then the last bits of the book are GMing stuff, like how to run a conspiracy style campaign. And then I imagine an example thereof. So how to run a conspiracy, how to do mysteries in this game particularly, because obviously that comes up, right? If you're like hunting evil, you got to root it out. Looks like this lady just interrupted a fun party. Why is she looking at me like that? Get out of here. Stop looking at me, lady. Wait, but she has her shit all undone. No, the party was her party. What is going on in this art? I'm like, because like obviously like her and this dude and that other dude and maybe this lady were like, they were getting down. Oh, I see. She's looking at us and these cops have shown up to give her a hard time. Right. And we're part of the part. Okay. Got it. I understand now. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So here's the adventure. There's something about Marie, which I won't cover in case you decide to run it yourselves. So there's like a full on adventure in the back. And then we get to our Appendix. These are definitely people. I don't know who they are, but those are definitely some people. Heading into Gulistan. Look at the dogs. I know, right? Puppers down there. Pretty good. They're the artists. Oh, okay. Yep, that makes sense. Good place to put them. And then, yeah, we have a whole bunch of addendums. So, like, Taints of Chaos. This is kind of like the small version of the... what's that? What's that book that I use it for random mutations? It's a Metamorphica. Yeah. So, like, a little like, micro version of the Metamorphica. Yeah. Cool. Stuff you'd put on a GM screen for this game. Some character sheets. And then the index. And that's it. That's our supplement. That's Main Gauche. Obviously, I took the most time to cover the stuff that was the most interesting to me, and that was the extra careers. But there is a ton of stuff in this supplement. And I'm really glad, honestly, that it came out before I started playing a Zweihander game, which I would still really love to. But I'm glad that it came out before because there's so many more options. Now, obviously, we're not gonna have time to like make a character, but you can do it yourself. It's not hard. There's a character sheet in Roll20 built in for Zweihander. So if you're interested in trying and making out a character, go ahead and just try it out. Open up your Roll20, make a new character in a Zweihander game, and give it a go. If you don't have a copy of this yet and you're interested in grabbing it, you can use the little link down here to get it. Or if you're watching in Twitch chat, you can use the Main Gauche command to get a click link that you can pop through. That's it. That's our first look at Main Gauche. Now, if you like this and you haven't seen any of the other first looks that I've done a bunch. They are all on my my YouTube channel. You can go and check them out there, or they're in the VODs for Twitch. And I'm planning on doing some more. I think the next one that we're gonna do is a game called Sundown. And then after that, I'm gonna do maybe a combined Genesis and Shadow of the Beanstalk first look. Those are definitely on my list because I've been flipping through them and I've been interested in taking like a closer look. So that's the plan. Take a look at my YouTube channel, have a look at those, and if you have suggestions, if you have games that you want me to do a first look of, games that are coming out, or supplements for games I've already done, let me know, and I'll take a look see, and we'll see what we can do. I quite enjoy doing this kind of content, so I'm glad that the people want to watch it. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for coming. This has been a first look at Zweihander's supplement Main Gauche, which you can get on DriveThruRPG. You can follow the creator at, I think, Zweihander RPG. And then, of course, you can find me all over the place on Twitter at Skinny Ghost or on YouTube, Adam Coble. So thanks for coming, everybody. We will see you next time.